That being said, let's open it up for the dialogue. I want to address just head on. Let's start with Donovan here.
Yes, sir.
I want to kind of have a roundtable discussion. If you would define what you believe to be a high-value man, and also define a high-value woman, if you would juxtapose those two things.
Absolutely. So a high-value man, a lot of people have this perception that a high-value man is a man with money and women. You can have money and women and still not be high-value. A high-value man is a man who brings value to other men, okay? If you can be of service and bring value to other men, if men respect you, if they follow you, if they believe in what you're talking about, and you improve people's lives, you are a high-value man. Anytime someone has a lot of money and a lot of women, that can be great, but just because you have money and women doesn't mean you're adding value. There are a lot of guys who have a lot of money and a lot of women, they're just shitheads. Let's just keep it real. But by the same token, there are guys with money and women who are also of service to men and or women. I think you've heard this before. A man never lost, he never lost, money chasing women, right? Or a man loses money chasing women, but if he chases money, he never loses women. Right. That's the way that goes. That's just the broad stroke of it. A high-value woman is quite simple. She's fit, feminine, friendly, and faithful.
All the F's: fit, feminine,
friendly, and faithful.
Those 4 F's right there.
Yes.
Faithful. Okay. Wow. So if she's fit, friendly, feminine, but unfaithful, what is she at that point?
She's a hoe.
Yeah.
Wow.
You gotta have all the F's?
Yes.
All of them.
All the F's.
All of them.
Okay. Heather, if you would go down the line here, what's your definition of a high-value man, and what do you think a high-value woman is?
I really agree with what Donovan said regarding a high-value man. I think it's someone who is respectable, respected by both men and women. And I think a high-value woman is someone who is easy to love, but also easy to lose. And what I mean by that is she's easy to love because she loves herself, she's fun to be around. And when I mean she loves herself, I don't mean she's full of herself. She's just someone who's genuinely happy with her life and is happy on her own. She doesn't need a man to be happy.
Oh boy.
And she's easy to lose because she has high standards. And if you don't meet those standards, then you don't need to be a part of her life. She sets the standard for herself.
She doesn't she wants a man, but she doesn't need a man.
Yes.
We're going to circle back to that.
Easy to
MLD.
lose.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing. What do you mean easy to lose?
Like, what's the buffer on that?
She sets the standard for herself, and if you don't meet that standard, she's ready to walk away.
Are you aware that there are more high-value men than high-value women?
Sure.
Okay.
So, like, is it one strike, you're out?
No, I mean, I think you guys are really trying to take what I said and run with it and make it very...
We're not lawyers. Calm down. We're just wanting to elaborate. We're just trying to elaborate.
Elaborate on what part exactly?
What is the margin of error that is allowed until you exit from the situation?
I mean, it's situational,
because you said
of course.
easy to lose. Easy to lose means like she's going to walk out.
Yeah, give an
quickly.
example. Deal breaker.
I mean, it's situational. So every woman's different. Every woman needs to set her own standard, and if you don't meet that standard, then the woman is going to walk away.
What's your standard?
It depends.
No, I mean, it depends on what day it is. I mean,
no,
you're only one person.
There's no definite answer to it. It's just that I want to be treated with respect. I want, someone to hold me to a certain standard. And if the vibe's just not there, it's just not there.
I think a lot of men are under the false impression that if a woman just looks good, and I'm sure you can understand this, if a woman looks good, she's wifey material. Nope. One of the biggest mistakes that men make, we've heard the word simp a lot, right? You're simping. People have many definitions of simping, but my definition of simping is giving an undeserving woman access to your time, your energy, attention, and resources. And so as a woman, if you want to be respected by a man, you 1,000% have to be respectable. Unfortunately, most women don't understand that.
Yeah, modern women, you're saying.
Modern women,
okay,
absolutely.
MLD, let's go down the list here. Definition, how you would interpret a high-value man versus a high-value woman, the definition.
A high-value man's pretty simple. Make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. That's it right there. If you're a guy, look, let's be honest, we're here on Belly Tainment Money, right? As a man, money's very important. Yeah. I'm not telling you need to be super rich, but you need to have your finances in order. And then, I think this mic's a little low. And I think you also need to have a good respect of money. I think you could understand that. A lot of people don't have a good, respectful relationship with money. They disrespect it, and then they end up blowing it all. I mean, you've been around in the money scene for a while. I'm pretty sure you've seen people make millions and lose it all, being fucking idiots, right? So you got to have your money right. Okay? When that bill comes, you know, those beautiful blue eyes come out, and they're like, oh, I had such a great time tonight, you know? You got to pay the bill.
Fucking take all my money. Let's go. I just take it all.
You got to... Women look to you as a provider, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, what is every man looking to be in a traditional sense? He's looking to be a father, right? What kind of father can you be if you can't provide and protect for your family?
For sure.
And money is super important about that, right?
Okay.
Make muscles is pretty simple. You just need to be not fat, right? In America, everybody's so fat. Like 70% of people are either overweight or obese. It's fucking insane, right? That's like...
You talking shit about Donovan? You just called him out right there.
No, I called myself out. I called myself out, man. Yeah.
Totally.
But he's actually he's a pretty buff dude.
Because of that?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you are taking an active stance to maintain your health.
Yeah.
Because we are all biologically decaying organisms.
Yep.
And by adhering to a good calorie strategy and exercise strategy, it's just high value. It's like you care about yourself. It's the ultimate form of self-respect by taking care of your body, right? So that's what Make Muscles is. Learn game is very simple. Every guy wants women, right? So unless they're gay, they're going to want women, right? I know Destiny's not here. But, but the bottom line is this. A lot of guys get tricked by women, bad women. I'm not saying all women are out there deceiving, but learning game is understanding the psychology of females. And so you can understand, okay, this girl is pump and dump, this girl is worth my time. And differentiating between the two, because a lot of guys, they wife up hoes, and guess what happens?
They
right?
can take
We
the
see it
cleaners.
all the fucking time. Divorce
Taken to the
courts.
cleaners.
You know, you see these girls waiting outside the stadiums in the NBA trying to fucking get up with these dudes. Those girls are hoes, and these dudes are putting babies and rings on these girls, right? And the last thing is hold frame. So many guys don't clearly have a sense of self. They don't have a sense of identity, and they don't have a sense of boundaries. And boundaries are worth nothing if you're not going to enforce those boundaries. And the only way you should be enforcing those boundaries is saying, these are my boundaries. If you do not abide by my rules, I will exit from this situation. I'm not saying to hold a woman down, beat her ass, or beat some dude's ass by, you're not fucking enforcing, you're not abiding by my boundaries. Not saying like that, because enforce does sound a little strong. But simply removing yourself from the situation. High value woman's very simple. She's modest, she's demure, she's not a hoe, right? She's not a liability. She cares about you, she loves you, she puts you as number one. A lot of American women have a problem with that, and that's why, like, the whole media here is just like, men ain't shit, men are garbage, you know.
Body positivity.
Body positivity, all this nonsense is just, that is absolutely detrimental towards men and women coming together. I watch this from afar because I live in Tokyo, and I watch what's happening in America. 70% divorce rate, it's fucking insane, mate. So a high-value woman is a woman that will protect the honor of her man and add value to him. It's like it says in, I think it's Proverbs 31, right? He who finds a good wife finds a good thing. Her value is more than rubies. So that's
You know, when you're quoting the Bible, everyone's just like, you got it. Unless you don't believe in God.
Hallelujah.
I don't know. All right, Fosh, beautiful girl. How do you perceive the definition of a high-value man and a high-value woman?
I believe a high-value man is someone who is resourceful,
money
can add value to a lot of people's life, is respectful, has a lot of, good things to say. Not necessarily good things, but like more informative, smart.
She keeps looking at Donovan when she's saying this.
I'm just trying to like
She-
go
that's what
off
she
of
is.
some
And
things
then
that you
what
guys
about a
said.
high-value woman?
I'll talk to Miss Montana.
Yeah, she hates me.
A high-value woman is someone who is respectful, beautiful, intelligent. She has something to say. It's not just all about what she can get, but she also has something to offer. Intellectual, nurturing.
Nurturing, beautiful.
What else?
Can cook.
That's not really a. You don't really need to
Can
do that, but, like,
order food?
Yeah,
easily?
order food. You need to be able to
You
do
see how
that.
Fosh was like all those?
How are you
I
going to
feel
be
like-
Can you cook those?
No, no, no.
Can you cook?
You can still be in fitness and order food. I feel like there's this
What
thing
about
like
seed oils?
that has nothing to do with fitness.
Okay. What about
cooking
You
for your
can
man?
still- you can
Okay.
still eat out and take care of yourself and be fit. So my thing is, I feel like everyone is locked into this, like they're talking about like modern women, but it's like, yeah, it is modern because we're living in today. It's not 1950, it's not 1980.
Oh, she's triggered.
So I'm not triggered. I'm telling you what today is. So, and then go back to what you said. You're saying, oh, a wife, are you married?
No.
Okay, and then you go back to saying like, oh, a wife and all of this thing, and then you just say the divorce rate is this.
In America.
In America, okay, but still, like you're here in America, so that's what we're talking about. So
all
what
right,
I'm
here we
saying
go.
She is
like,
triggered.
I'm not triggered. I'm stating like what it is.
She's
So-
just speaking with emphasis. That's all she's doing right here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I feel like there's this thing with modern women that people have this like connotation with. And the reality is that we're in a modern day world. So everything is not going to be like how it was in 1950 or when.
Nobody
there was
said we
just,
need
like-
to go back to
This is
1950.
the funny-
I'm not saying that it is. I'm just speaking what Nafisa is saying right now, not what MLB is saying.
Well, you know, interesting thing, it's funny when people say, well, we're not in the 1950s. To her point, there is a faction of men in the manosphere that like to talk about, you know, women need to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. We need to go back to 1950. It ain't 1950. Just like you said, it's 2023. That being said, just because it's 2023 does not mean that our biological desires and our actions have changed. The same things that made men attractive back in the 1950s, it's the same thing today, and it's the same thing with women. So, no, we're not back in the 1950s, but I still think that women absolutely need to know how to cook. As far as
That's where he went with that.
Real talk, dude, real shit. If you're a woman
fine.
and you do not know how to cook, if you are a woman, what'd you say?
I said, no, that's fine. I'm talking to
She's
him. I
agreed.
said, that's
She agreeing
fine.
with you.
Oh,
I
okay.
agree, yeah.
If you are a woman in this day and age and you do not know how to cook, there's no way you can be high value. I don't care how. There are a lot of beautiful women out there who are not high value at all.
That's
okay.
Let's just get that right. That's a human skill. Man or woman, you got to know how to cook. You know how to cook. You cooking
What do you
matzo balls over there?
I cook a bomblet.
What do you consider
Like a
knowing
bomb
how
ass
to
omelet. That's all I got. That's
Let
all
me get that.
That's all I got.
Do you really? That's all you can cook?
Listen, you know what?
poured
This
a
might be
drink.
He's a man,
controversial.
dude.
There's like 100 things that like I'd like my girl to do. It's actually like 3 things I want my girl to do.
There you go.
Cooking ain't in the top 3 for me, bro.
It is.
What
That's
are your
for
top
me.
three?
I'm just
What do you
asking
want
if
her
you
to
know how to
do?
cook, Adam.
I know how to order like a motherfucker. That's what
That's not
I
cooking.
do.
That's not cooking.
I know. I'm just, you
So
know,
you
we're
can't
not all
cook.
going to agree on everything.
can't cook.
Let me get Will's. No, I'm not a chef. I don't want to be a chef. I'm not learning how to cook.
Yeah,
I
you're
want
a
to
man. You
make
shouldn't
more
have to know how
money
to cook, yeah.
so I don't ever have to cook and I
you
can
go.
just order more food. All good. No problem with that.
Hashtag DoorDash.
I don't even need my girl to learn how to cook. Just when the food arrives, grab the food, set it out on the table, eat with me. You can clean up afterwards. I'll see you upstairs.
Modern day. Thank you.
Modern life. Will, go ahead. What is the definition of, in your opinion, a high-value man and a high-value woman?
I think it's a great question. I think it's interesting answers. It feels a little bit to me like all of these are coming from like a single person's perspective. Like in a
You
marriage.
said a single person's perspective.
Because he's married.
This is why we have a married man
Yeah.
here. Exactly. Go
So
ahead.
like, so when you've been married a long time, I don't want to hear my wife's nagging voice in the back of my mind.
Right.
So like that is related to value. You know, like if I'm constantly hearing, that's the opposite of support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
I also think that especially we've got 2 kids. I've got a 9-year-old son. I've got a 6-year-old daughter. I think when 2 people are willing to come together and reach a common goal, it doesn't matter if the toilet needs cleaned. I'm willing to clean the toilet. She's willing to clean the toilet. Yeah. I'm willing to cook the food. She's willing to cook the food because there's 2 people towards a common goal. So like these are all great points, but to put it on like one specific thing, like they need to be doing this thing, I think all that goes out the window when it's a team sport.
I disagree. I think
what I'm saying?
I disagree. I think a man has roles, and I think a woman has roles, especially in as far as conventional masculinity versus conventional femininity. There are things that women bring to the table that men generally can't or don't, and vice versa.
So let's take this perspective.
Well, hold
What
on, I wasn't finished yet. There are certain things that women bring to the table, again, that men do not. So, yes, is it great for men to know how to cook? If something needs to be cooked, great. But in my household, I'm not cooking. I'm the breadwinner. I'm the leader. She's the follower. If something needs to get cooked, she's going to cook it. If the toilet needs to get cleaned, she's going to clean it. Yes, we are on the same team. But I'm a man and she's a woman, and we have different roles. I don't clean toilets. I don't vacuum the floor. I don't wash clothes. I make the money, and she does the rest.
But
That's the
so
way I do it.
are you saying that you want your girl cooking and cleaning toilets and cleaning the house? Is that
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, okay, so this
But
is
she
the
also
problem.
does other things, though.
Hold
She
on,
like-
everybody.
Of course, but
Okay,
minimum.
let me get back to what your opinion as a high value woman, and then I'm going to say something, and then we'll open it up. Go ahead. High
So
value
I
woman.
think back
you
to that
stressed
point.
out
What about a
already?
single dad? Is he not a
angry?
high value
Not at
man
all.
if he doesn't have a woman at the house to cook and he cooks for his son and he feeds his family? Is that not a high value man?
Well, I didn't say a man who doesn't know how to cook is not a high value man. That's a different situation. If there's a single dad and he has a son or a daughter, yes, he has to cook. But if there's a woman in the home, you better fucking believe she is
that's
going to
not
do,
okay.
hold on. You better believe she is going to do the domestic chores. And if she can't or won't, she's out the door. That's just the way it is.
I think, Will, you're saying you and your wife prioritize the children's well-being as number one and the household's well-being as number one. Is that what you're trying? That's what I was trying to.
Yeah. It's a. I think
Taking
the
care of the
context
kids.
of those things. I think you're not wrong. Not that it's my opinion whether you are right or wrong. I think it's the team sport. Like we are actively trying to raise these children.
The children.
Speaking of team sports, the quarterback doesn't also play linebacker, right? Football is not an Iron Man sport. The wide receiver, every once in a while you have position players, and I know my sports fans out here, Taysom Hill is kind of the Swiss Army knife, but he is the exception to the rule. By and large, 11 guys on the football field have one specific job, and if they don't do that job well, the team just doesn't win. It's not this. I think what a lot of people really need to understand is that this is why relationships are in the shit right now, because everybody thinks it's plug and play. People think things are interchangeable.
Yeah.
Now, I agree. If you're a single man and you know how to cook, I think that's great. But if you have a woman in your life, she needs to be adding feminine value. Again, if I'm the breadwinner, if I'm the leader, I'm not going to do feminine activities if I have a woman in the home. That's just the way it is.
See, but I think I think the cleanliness of theory is no match for the mess of reality. I think if we're talking about a divorce rate of 70%, there's more single people cooking for kids than we're talking about.
You're absolutely right. No,
I
hold
let
on,
you finish.
hold on. There's
Did
more
you just-
single. Well, hold on. There's more single
Jesus.
people. There's more single people cooking for kids, but there's no woman there's no woman or man in the home with single parents. So again, I understand what you're saying, but you're talking about single parent homes. I'm talking about relationships. If you're a single parent, yes, do all you have to do. If you're a single father, you're like, well, I'm not going to clean a toilet because I'm a man. No, you do what you have to do. But if you have a woman, wife, or girlfriend in the home, I'm not cleaning toilets because that's her job.
Let me let me give a little food for thought here, because this is something that I constantly hear. Because my philosophy on like what I'm looking for has changed as I've gotten older and made more money.
That's fair.
Here's what I'm saying here. I remember being 26 when I started my financial career, and I'm driving up in Boca Raton, okay, 20 minutes north of here.
Very Jewish of you.
And I would very nicely, very what?
Very Jewish.
Very Jewish of me.
yeah.
I just started my job in financial sales, and I'm seeing it's on the golf course, and I'm seeing these housewife types, I assume, at 9 a.m. just walking across the golf, like walking around, and I'm like on my way to go make fucking cold calls for 10 hours a day.
Yeah, right.
And I'm thinking, these fucking lucky bitches, they just get to walk around in their yoga pants and okay, got that. And then as I realized, as I made more money and I became a millionaire and like I had money in the bank and I'm working on my career, I'm like, the last thing I want my woman doing is working her ass off. I want her exercising, being fit, friendly, feminine, being like a beautiful woman, AKA the women that were just walking around the country club and walking around the golf course. So my point to you is, at this point in my life, my girl, if I do get married and settle down and have a girl, the last thing she's doing is cleaning toilets. Okay, that's it for me. The last thing I want her doing is slaving over a hot stove. Now, keep in mind, she might be helping me with business, helping me with life, helping me with just raise kids, family, what have you. But you know who's going to be cleaning the toilets? The fucking maid.
Thank you.
So my point
Yes.
is, and shout out to my maids out there. You kill it. I pay you double what you get everyone else. So I guess my question to you is like, you're a successful guy. Why does it go on your girl to do that? Why not just hire the maid and have your girl doing more like important tasks?
I have a question
Hold
for
on,
you.
real quick.
Yeah,
An important task. Cleaning the house is a very important
Yeah,
task.
but not the toilet, brother.
Yes, it is, and it's not.
You can't
it's
be beyond
hold on.
cleaning your toilets.
The thing is, and my girl doesn't slave over a stove. She enjoys cooking. It's not about the servitude aspect. But when a woman does these things for you, it shows. And I can afford to hire.
I know you
afford to
can.
hire a maid.
If you were broke as fuck, I'd be like, hey, keep your wife fucking cleaning them toilets, dog. But I know you're a successful guy.
Right.
Hence why I introduced everyone here as high value men and high value women.
Sure.
Different definitions. But continue, please.
Listen, I require my woman to do it all. And she's she does SEO, she builds my websites and all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather her focus on that.
She does. And now I pay her personal trainer $2,400 a month to come to the house and make sure she stays fit. She has time for all of this, and she can still meet me upstairs at the end of the day with plenty of energy to do what she needs to do.
Let me ask you
That's
this.
what I require.
What are the requirements you have of a woman in your life?
Fit, friendly, feminine, and faithful.
There it is.
We all know this, MLD. Hello.
Don't line step. Don't Tim Pool me. Don't Tim Pool me.
Yeah.
I know you got to be Mr. Valuetainment, but for real, when you have a woman who comes into your life, what are the standards that she has to uphold in order to stay with Adam Sosnick?
Well, here, let's go to the charts here. I'm gonna answer the question, but let's see what the supposed answer to that be, and I'm gonna circle back.
Your answer.
Relax, buddy. You're on my show. Hello. Let's pull up the sexual market value charts of what men need to bring to the table and what women need to bring to the table. Now, what I don't want is you fucking disagreeing on what the charts show. We're going to stay what the charts are. If you have different allocation, that's fine, but don't be that guy. Is
Body
what I'm
count
saying.
better be
or
up
that
there
girl.
for females.
So
Body count better.
Let's start with what a man's role is. You have those charts, and then we'll go with what a woman is. And by the way, I looked this over. The numbers might be a little bit different, but I actually fully agree with what this says. You want to pull it up?
Yeah, I pulled up the man.
Okay, so here's what the male sexual market value long-term essentially shows. So these are how a woman, scroll it back out a little bit, Nat. This is how a woman judges a man, okay? So looks, 15%. Resources, 27%. That's the most. Game, 7%. Personality, 18%. Status, 23%. Age, 10%. Here's how I interpret this. And then we'll do the women, and then we'll open this up. So resources, 27. Status, 23. All right, so that's 50% right there.
Yeah.
That's money. Keep it there.
Yeah.
That's money and basically your network and your network. So half of it for a man is resources and money. Got it. Check. We're all doing that. On the top portion, you got 25% looks and age. That kind of goes parallel as well. How good looking are you? How mature are you? How old are you? All that kind of stuff like that. And then below that, you have another 25%, which is essentially your personality, your game. Yeah. That's what encompasses a man's sexual market value. Okay. Now let's diversify
oh boy.
And juxtapose for what a woman's sexual market value is, or how a man perceives a woman. So let's go with that. Okay.
Bingo.
So here we go. Can you scroll back out a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, I don't know why it doesn't say the SMV at the top, but here's the point. This is a woman's sexual market value. 80% looks.
Age has got to be bigger than 8%.
Now, 80, this again, we're not going to disagree over the little numbers here. This is what this says. 80% looks. So, Chris Rock has a joke where he says, when you meet a girl, your friends say, "Oh, what she look like, dog?"
That's right.
What she look like,
Every
dog?
time.
Show me a picture. But when a woman is telling her friends about a guy, what do he do?
What does he do?
What does he do?
There you go.
Can he fulfill a dream or not? Keep that up. So 80% looks, and then you have 8% age, 1% status, 2% personality, 9% game, whatever that means for a woman, 0% resources. So meaning you don't really give a shit what your girl's got if she's hot. I tell this story all the time. When I was 30 years old, I was dating two girls. One was gorgeous and broke, and one was a fucking daughter of a billionaire and not that hot. Who do you think I chose?
Gorgeous and broke.
No, I took the billionaire's daughter, banged her out. No, I took the gorgeous broke girl because that's how guys operate. So you asked my question. I agree with this. There's a girl I'm seeing these days who is
8%?
gorgeous. I don't give a shit what she does because she has a great personality. Mm-hmm. She's nice. She's sweet. She's feminine. But let's get real here. I think she's fucking beautiful.
Sure.
So that's the bottom line here.
You know what's interesting? You're 40?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go with that.
42.
Yeah. Okay. Well, right. It's interesting the chart there, and I mean, you can add or subtract, whatever,
Yeah.
give or take in either direction. when you have had success with beautiful women in your life, there comes, and we had this conversation in the ride on the way over here, there comes a point in time where you need more. There comes a point in time where you need more than just looks. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
Don't get me wrong. You absolutely need to be sexually attractive to get your foot in the door. You could be feminine and friendly and cook and clean toilets, but if I'm not trying to bang, you're not getting
Beauty will get you in the club, but like your personality, your effort, your ambition for a woman will keep you in the club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So what men need to understand, and a guy like you, looks 80%, and I don't have a problem with that at all. But a guy like me, I'll be 46 in August, and I've
don't crack.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Janita out there, by the way. That's my girl.
Yeah.
But there comes a point in time where a guy like me, I need more than just looks, because I lived in Vegas for the better part of a decade. Dude, I banged every blonde, brunette, redhead, stripper, cocktail waitress you can find. Every once in a while, you'll find what appears to be a diamond in the rough, meaning she's not a complete bitch. But at some point, you need a little bit more. And so I think that looks are very important, but for just a guy like me, I need you to have agency. I need you to keep your femininity, number one, and I need you to have the desire to take care of me and represent me well. And I think what men also need to understand is that when you're looking for a long-term relationship potential, you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit in the way of looks. And I'll use an example. There's I used to sell cars, Dodge Stratus and Dodge Viper, right? Everybody wants to buy the Dodge Viper. The payment is high, but it turns heads. You're going to get the girls, right? But if you don't get the engine service, it's going to be a very short-lived opportunity with that Dodge Viper. So yes, the Dodge Viper is beautiful, but it takes a lot more maintenance, and it's not really fuel efficient. If the car breaks down, you're looking at least 4 figures to get it fixed. Whereas the Dodge Stratus, it looks good enough to not be made fun of, but it's reliable, gets good gas mileage, et cetera, et cetera. I think every man reaches a stage in life where looks are still important, but not as important. And that's the stage that I'm at right now.
Yeah, which I agree with, and I want to get everyone's perspective. But you know, what do they say? What do they say? Show me a hot girl, so you a dude who's sick of banging.
Yeah, sick of
So
shit.
because guys like Baskin Robbins 23,
Variety.
whatever.
Absolutely,
variety. Let me ask the girls a question. Because you were literally in the Miss USA pageant, Miss Montana. You're a very high-end model,
nice arms,
gorgeous
by the way.
influencer. When you're on stage competing, nightgown. I'm not sure if they do the bikini stuff still. I think they should. Okay, good. Shout out to
Miss
Miss
America
USA.
doesn't. Miss America
Okay,
doesn't.
that's
Miss
why
USA
I'm all
does.
about
Your bikini
USA.
in Miss America get canceled.
So, in your opinion, what women are winning? Meaning, are they the most beautiful? Are they the most talented? They look the best in the swimsuit. Conspiracy theory aside.
Conspiracy theory aside, it's the most.
Because that's a whole drama.
It's the
How does
most
it work?
well-rounded woman.
There you go.
Okay, so what is well-rounded in Miss USA world?
It's all weighted equally. Beauty, brains, and fitness.
Okay, so there's and is that how you think men view women? Like, meaning, is the winner of Miss USA or the winner of Miss America the woman that you think the men are the most attracted to, or is it like the gay judges that are viewing it?
Oh my God, Adam.
Can I answer that?
I mean,
go ahead.
it's not always
Yeah.
the most beautiful girl that wins. I will say that.
Yeah.
You have to be the most well-rounded. You have to be likable. You have to have something going for you. You have to have something to bring, to the conversation, bring to the table.
I think you should have won. That's just my
There you
conspiracy
go, Adam.
theory. Go ahead, Fosh.
Going back to what you guys are talking about, I do think high value men do recognize all around well-rounded women. But initially, I do think most men are looking at breasts, ass kind of thing.
Right here.
But that's initially.
Sure.
And
Yes.
then as they learn, you're like, oh no, this woman isn't good for me. And then they start looking for the brains, and they learn their lesson after they go through it. You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
They go through the shit and they're like, oh, okay, I need a well-rounded woman. So they see the looks, and then they're like, oh, okay, she can hold a conversation. She has something intelligent to say.
Okay, let's pull this chart back up because I want to get everyone's opinion on.
We're not allowed to disagree with this chart?
Well, you can. That's why I'm pulling it back up.
Okay.
So, do
'Cause
you
I
want to
do.
disagree with the male stuff or the women stuff?
The women's 8% for the age. I'm not dating some
So go to
grandma.
that. You wanna go to this?
The
But
age,
that goes back to looks, too.
No. The fertility, because I don't want to have retarded
Oh,
children.
you're thinking, okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
But that makes sense, though, right?
I don't want to have retarded
Jonathan,
children.
how old are you?
37.
Okay, so what is the oldest woman you would date, and what is the youngest woman you would date? Seriously, obviously you'd bang some hot 20-year-old. We're not debating that.
Youngest, I
Who
will
would you
date-
date or actually even marry if you would?
Youngest,
Oldest and youngest.
Youngest is 18.
You would actually full on date an 18-year-old girl.
I want 5 sons.
You
Okay.
couldn't even bring her into a bar.
I don't.
Bro,
that's
like,
true.
Well, guess what?
Okay, so
You couldn't bring her
Why
anywhere.
are we trying to go to the bar?
I'm just saying, like, if you guys wanted to go out.
You just outed yourself. First of all, I don't need to take my woman to a bar.
Thank
Bars
you.
are trashy establishments.
You know what I'm saying.
No,
She
I'm
couldn't-
telling you,
okay.
I don't need a woman to. I don't need to go to a bar to drink with a woman. That's trashy. I don't do that. If I have a,
If you brought
We're
your girl
all
to a bar,
drinking
you wouldn't
right
even bring
here.
your
Come
own girl
on,
to a
let's be
bar?
real.
no.
What do you mean?
I
Your
don't
own
go out-
girl?
I don't
What
go out
about
and drink.
dinner? Because
Dinner?
she has to
Dinner
be
with
old
the
enough to get a
bar
drink
there.
at dinner too.
Exactly. That's what
No.
I'm saying.
It's so funny that
Wait. Listen, you wanted my opinion. Let
Yeah,
me give
of
it.
course. Let's
Okay.
go.
So I don't seriously date women who drink alcohol.
Okay.
That's trashy to
That's
me.
your thing, though.
That's me. I don't deal
That's
with it.
great, and I
And
respect
why not?
that.
Because it's a vice. It's a liability.
Bingo.
Okay, but if I'm...
What is the positive ROI of a woman drinking in a relationship?
Doesn't exist.
Well, this is a loaded question. By the way, I fully appreciate and respect what you're saying. But I also live in reality. Most women and most men are going to have a cocktail. We're all fucking having a cocktail on the show.
Okay.
Meaning you're only going to date a girl who does not drink.
Correct.
And is 18 and can't even drink anyways. Wink, wink.
That was the longest.
That's why
youngest.
she really wants an
Let's
18-year-old.
let's add context. You
Yeah, of
said
course.
what's the youngest? I
Yes.
said 18.
Yes.
She said, what about boozing? I don't look at a girl and be like, oh, well, I love
she
this
drink?
girl, but she can't drink, so I guess I got to fucking disqualify
Totally
her.
appreciate that. Totally.
No.
What's the oldest girl you would date at 38 years old?
I don't know.
The
man.
oldest.
Fucking.
70.
No, I don't want no powdered eggs. Are you kidding me? No, I 29.
Okay, so
pushing
you
it.
would if it starts with a 3, you're out.
She's got to be fucking. She's got to check every box. But like chicks that are get older and single, like what? Like why are you single? Like what happened?
Okay.
Like hot women get scooped up. Like good women are not
Yes.
left on the marketplace
So why are you single at 37?
because it's a choice. And I'm a man. I'm not a woman. See, you're trying to conflate female values with male values. Not the same.
I'm just asking a question.
And I'm
Well,
answering.
no,
it.
That tone. I like it.
She's triggered too.
Without this,
I'm
without
not
get-
sure. Why are we throwing around the word triggered?
I
I,
know,
hate
right?
that that's
know, because
Nobody's
so-
triggered here. It's all good. I will say this, not that I'm coming to John's defense, but he has a great point here. I recommend, feel free to trash this argument. I don't care. I think most men should not even consider getting married until they're age 30.
Real shit.
Even consider it. Okay? Most women need to full on consider marriage by the time they're 30. It's a different mark. I tell this story every time. At my
Yeah.
40th birthday, my boy Miguel comes up to me, yo, Adam, you're the man, bro. You own the bar here. You're killing it. You're making money. You're the fucking man. Oh, is that Laura over there? Yeah. She's how old is she? 40. She's single. Oh, man,
why is
that
she
sucks
here?
for her. Exactly. I say this all the time. If we went to high school together, I ain't dating you. I don't want you in the club with me. I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah.
But because I want you to be married with kids by the time you're 40 as a woman.
Sure.
There's different. All my best friends are 38, 41, 42, 45, millionaires crushing it, bosses. And I'm the guy that's like, guys, we're fucking 40-something years old. When are we settling down? When are we doing this? And they're like, stop getting soft on me, Adam. Keep going. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be that 50-year-old dude in the club. That ain't going to be me
Here's
either.
the difference, though. Here's the difference, and it's interesting that you asked him why he was single at 37. There's a big difference between a 37-year-old single man and a 37-year-old single woman.
Yeah.
37-year-old
Yes.
men of his status, he's single because he wants to be.
Yes.
The 37-year-old woman is single because she has to be.
Yeah.
A lot of women think that they fool us, especially when they're a little bit old. Because my girlfriend's 46. I'm 45. I have never wanted kids. I know I'm the outlier, whatever the case may be. That doesn't make me special. I've just never wanted to have kids. That's just off the table for me. That's just the way it's been. But I think a lot of people have to understand, especially in the sexual marketplace, men and women are clearly not different. There is a big difference. There's a big difference between being a 45-year-old single man and a 45-year-old single woman.
100% agree with
I
you.
agree
Massively.
100%.
Hey, look how older women treat younger women around them when they're both single. They're fucking bitches,
Yeah.
right? You probably
No,
experienced
it's
this.
true. It's true.
Doesn't
I
it
agree.
come down to whether you want kids or not?
Yes.
Let's get real here.
Yeah.
Because we did a show, one of the first shows we ever did with Rolo. We had a girl come on the show. Whatever, I don't need to say her name. And, she didn't want kids. She was focused on her career.
She's a loser.
And she's like, I want to make money. I just want to have my. She was got a doctor, PhD, the whole spiel.
Who cares?
I said, do you want kids? She goes, no. And I said, well, you're cheating the system, because you have no idea how many girls I know, late 30s, early 40s. I'm talking the finest girls in high school. the finest girls, like my home girls, and I see them out in the club. I'm like, what are you still doing here? Why are you here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like, they could have locked down men when they were 18,
That's right.
21, 25, 30, 32. Now you're 40 and you're still in the club with this fucking guy? Go home, baby. And I say to them, I go, what are you doing? Do you have a man? No. Do you want a man? Yes. Do you want kids? Yes. P.S. I'm going to whisper this. Are you freezing your eggs? Yeah, I am, Adam. I'm freezing my eggs. It's like, fuck, babe. You should have been married 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, real quick, how long you been married?
12 years.
Same age, different, like.
Yeah, similar age. Yeah.
So, and you've kids?
Yeah, 2 kids.
Okay. So this is also the thing that I see. How old are you, by the way?
34.
You're 34.
Oh wow. Is that
So
going on?
a lot of, and you guys met where?
Kind of went to high school together. 2 different
So
schools.
that's another thing.
how about that?
That's another thing. Because all my best friends have all married the girl that they dated in college.
Right.
And I totally can appreciate that. I almost fucking married a girl that I went to college with. And that's great because you have similar friends, similar interests, similar socialization. Everyone's getting married around you. Believe me, I've been in that situation when all your friends are getting engaged and everyone's getting married. It's a very special time in your life, and that's a very unique situation. But if you don't go down that path as a man, because I understand going down that path, you've been with the girl forever, I get that. If you don't go down that path as a man and you stay single and pursue excellence and not just settle down, brother, don't get married. Keep it going. Pursue excellence. Meaning now you start dating girls that are 10 years age difference than you.
With
15
3
years
kids.
age difference than you. No, 0 kids. I ain't fucking with that.
I'm talking about your boy.
No, yeah, well, that's a whole other thing. So, because I can appreciate that. What's been the secret to your marriage, making that work, and the kids and everything?
It's maybe
Give me the good, the bad, the ugly. Well, how about this? Let me tee up what my buddy said, and let me turn it over to you. This is a question I'm obsessed with these days, because I'm frankly at that point where I'm like, dude, I'm born and raised in South Beach. I own a bar. I've been in the bars. I'm like, I've partied enough for 100 lifetimes.
Yeah.
So John doesn't drink. I've drank millions of dollars of booze.
I drink.
Okay, I am good.
My girl can't
Okay,
drink.
so the question that I'm obsessed with these days, where I ask all my married friends, I go, listen, give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. Just give it to me. Okay, you're off the record, this it, and I say, all right, and I get these amazing answers because I've known these guys forever. My one buddy, he says, I'll tell you what, the good, I love my girl. She's there for me. She's always there for me. No matter what, we're doing this together. I love it. I know she's dependable. She's there for me. The bad, she's always there for me, okay? She's always there. Can we stop? So it was like this thing where it's like, all right, it's hilarious. So back to you. Give me the good, the bad, the ugly. I know you're on camera right now, so I don't want, but give it to me.
So I think the good, it goes back to what we talked about. We fixed and flipped a house together. We've got into the shit together, everything, which is amazing. I've got somebody on my side, and we're fighting towards a common goal. Whether it's business, whether it's going through some shit. We moved into an apartment. We signed my first 12-month lease. Moved out of my mom's house, out of college. We both moved into an apartment together. 2 weeks into a 12-month lease, I lost my job. We went through the shit together.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
That's a good
I got to
woman.
ride or die. You know what
That's
I mean?
a good woman.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling in the world ever.
Real
ride or
talk,
die.
dude.
Best
Real
feeling in the fucking world. And I'll add some context to my thing real quick. I made a mistake. I wish I had kids earlier. I have 37. I wish I had kids earlier. Just as
Why?
Why is that a
Why
mistake?
not?
You're good now. Don't no regrets, MLD.
Because I
You're
don't wanna be
fucking MLD. There's no
I-
regrets here.
No,
No regrets.
I'm gonna be honest. Because at this point I'm gonna be an older father, and I wish I was
That's
a be
fine, bro. Get the fucking. You're
for
good,
you,
dude.
for you. But just telling you, for me.
Dude,
Yeah,
Theo,
but you
Theo
can't
Vaughn's
change
dad
time.
was like 70-something.
Yeah.
But
Isn't that crazy?
I want to spar.
What's the
I
difference
was- dude.
between a man and a woman?
I want to spar with my children. I want to fight. I want to
You
like.
want to kick the shit out of your kids?
I want to beat his fucking
Hey,
ass.
man, Adam, you better believe
Are you
it.
kidding me? I fought my whole life.
How many kids do you have?
I've
Will?
got 2, 9-year-old son, 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
9-year-old, 6. Best and worst part of kids.
Oh God.
I think the best part of kids is how much they can teach you. It's not just you pouring into them. It's leadership goes up the chain of command too, and it's seeing through their eyes. I think they expose you too. I would have a short temper like my dad, and I'd say something. I go, "Oh, I can't do that," because I didn't like how it made me feel.
Yeah.
So that's the good. The bad, it's a lot of damn work, man.
Yeah.
You're signing up for the rest of your life.
Literally.
There's some amazing moments, and then there's God, I hope they don't fucking die today. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
like when
yeah,
you
real.
want to swing,
Don't pull a John MLD and beat your kids, bro. Let's just keep them. I'm fucking with you, bro.
Fuck up my
I
kids.
actually want to ask the girls a question because we were. Oh, well, so you
Yeah,
said,
real quick, I wanted to
you
piggyback off of something.
But you said Devin's 1 year older than you.
Yeah, she's a year older
Okay,
than me.
so dude, I've heard your story. You used to do your thing in Vegas
Sure.
party. Prior to Devin, what did you think was the oldest you would date, and what's the youngest you would date seriously?
To date seriously?
Like seriously,
youngest-
obviously not some chick that's 20 and you bang her out, whatever. I'm talking like full-on relationship.
Yeah, if I want kids, 18 to 26. But I've never wanted kids, so I've dated girls as young as 18 years old all the way up to 44. So yeah,
Okay.
it was a wide range. But piggybacking off
Yeah.
of what he said, like I said, I have a long and illustrious past with women, and as much of a magic carpet ride it was in Vegas, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, I have no regrets, even though I don't remember half of it. There is, and what you said resonated with me. There is nothing like succeeding and suffering with someone you know is going to be by your side. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like me and my girlfriend, we've had so many firsts together. We took a helicopter ride for the first time. We did a hot air balloon. We plan on going on an Alaskan cruise for the very first time. We've done so many firsts, and making money is great. And don't get me wrong, I would be just fine without my girl, but I'm glad that I have her, because what we were talking about in the car, it's great to be successful, but it's so much more fulfilling and enriching when you have someone to share that
To
with.
celebrate your wins with.
100%, man. That to me is the best part of being in a relationship.
Would you consult? Is that friendship? Is that teammates? What category would you put that under?
No, me and my girlfriend are not friends.
I don't like my girl at all.
That's another American fallacy. Like, oh, you gotta marry your best friend.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
no.
people say
No.
that.
Well, here's the thing. It's
retarded.
We get along.
That's not a good idea to marry your best friend.
No, it's not. And here's why. Because there's a term friend zone for a reason, right?
Yeah.
You ask any girl, well, do you want to marry? Oh, I want to marry my best friend. Really? Well, which one of your guy friends can you see yourself with? It's crickets. Why? Because they're in the friend zone. This doesn't mean I don't like my girl. No, I love and like my girl Devin very much. We get along great. We have almost nothing in common. Being compatible with someone doesn't mean having all of these things in common. Being compatible with someone means you just get along. Because I've dated girls who have similar interests and similar hobbies and similar personality, and we just didn't get along. That doesn't mean that I couldn't get along with her, but as long as you just get along with the other person, you are compatible. But as far as like us being friends, if she has something on her chest that she just needs to vent about, I tell her, call your girlfriends, right? I tell her, call your girlfriends. But if something needs to be solved, then she will talk to me about it. That's just kind of the way that goes.
Straight up.
So many guys get caught in the friend zone because they buy into the ridiculous myth when women say, I want to marry my best friend. I want to marry my best friend. We have to be friends first before. No, you cannot protect a woman like you need to if you are her friend. This doesn't mean we don't get along. This doesn't mean we don't have a great time together, but we are not friends. We are in a relationship. There's a big difference.
Would you say that you and your wife are best friends, Will?
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting, and I'd like to know the stat. What percentage of divorce is the man surprised? Because I think it's interesting.
What do you mean surprised?
100%.
Like, I didn't even know this was coming. You know, like
Well,
he's being
yeah,
served a divorce
70,
papers.
100%.
70% of divorces are initiated by women, and it goes up to
85.
90% if they're college educated.
And 100% of the men that are a part of that 70 to 80%, they have no idea. It's
100% of men are
They
successful.
have no idea to get blindsided.
What was your
There's
point
someone
with
who
that?
get married with a divorce attorney already on retainer.
Oh wow.
Well,
Real talk.
I love some of the stuff you're saying, but I'm just interested to see if like the philosophy that we state as men, if we're getting surprised with divorces, does our philosophy contrast and conflict with the result that we're getting? You know what I'm saying? Like if men are getting surprised, but it also may relate back to what y'all were saying about like most men in society today are not the type of men they should be.
Right.
So
Right.
those two things could be related.
That's true.
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the thing is I was married before, and I had it wasn't a terrible marriage, but it was a bad one. But guess what, man? If I were my ex-wife, I would have divorced me too.
Why is that?
Well, I just wasn't
You were
the man.
cheating. You were an asshole. You weren't
No,
friends. You friend zoned her.
I was I was unmotivated. I didn't take charge. I was reliable, but I was not masculine enough.
Are you saying that you're more of a pimp now and you're more of a simp then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Donovan Sharp exposed.
I mean, as hard as we peer on women, we are way harder on ourselves.
You better believe it.
and way harder on our male clients. When
Good.
when these guys come to us,
Good.
we let them know, like, dude,
You're a
you're
fucking loser.
You're fat. You're disgusting. You're not cool. Nobody wants you.
That's it.
I want to go.